Go.
All right, cool. So there's a little tutorial on decanting a bottle of wine using a Durand wine key. So there are many reasons you would decant a bottle of wine. To primarily get rid of sediment. If you're decanting an older bottle of red wine specifically, there might be sediment in some whites, but we're primarily talking about reds here. You might want to aerate a wine, whether if it's young and really sort of dense, it might need a little aeration. And sometimes in older wines, like old Barolos and things of that nature, might need a little bit of air to sort of wake them up if they've been in the reductive environment of the bottle for 30 years or so. And generally there are some tools you'll need. You'll need some kind of wine key, whether if it's a waiter's friend style wine key for any type of young cork. This really is the best tool. You'll of course need some sort of carafe. You'll need a candle or a flashlight, or the light on your phone works really fine too if you have an iPhone or some kind of smartphone. And we're going to use this Durand wine key as well, which is really great for older corks which are likely to crumble and fall to pieces. So there are two cases. Either a bottle's been standing up or a bottle's been lying down, as in a wine cellar. If the bottle's lying down, the rule is to keep it lying down. So in that case, you want to use a wine cradle or prop it up with some napkins and work it really carefully, because in that sense, all the sediment is collected in the bottom of the bottle. If the bottle's been standing up for any period of time, keep it standing, naturally, because then all the sediment will be in the bottom of the bottle. You want to get rid of that. So if you know that you're going to drink, if you know that you're going to have a certain meal the day after, and you can prep your wine ahead of time, it doesn't have to be a full day. For most wines, 12 hours is good enough. 24 hours, of course, preferable if it's a really old bottle of wine, or even more. Leave them standing. It's much easier to work with for most people, and yeah, that's that. So we're going to show the standing up scenario here. If you're doing it lying down, you'll have it lying down on the cradle. So standing up, we're going to take our bottle, we're going to take it really carefully, not disturb any sediment. We're going to cut the foil with some kind of knife, using my wine key here. And we're going to use this Durand corkscrew or wine key, which is really a combination of a so-called like Osso corkscrew, where you have two blades that go down on each side of the cork and doesn't break the cork up, and a corkscrew. So the way the Durand works is you screw this into the middle. It's a little flexible spiral helix. Screw that all the way in tight to the bottleneck. And then on either side, you stick the blades in. There's one blade that's just a little bit longer. You start with that, and then you fit the other one in. And then you work it down sort of by going side to side until it lies flat on the other part of the wine key. At this point, you grab both of the pieces. It's going to be a little tricky if you have smaller hands, but you just gotta find a way to do it. And then you sort of twist and turn both of them together. They can move a little bit in relation to each other, but basically grab a hold of the cork once it starts getting out. Oh, yeah. That makes getting almost any cork really easily out, even if it's an old bottle of port wine or something like that. One drawback to this is that the blades often can sort of scrape the side of the cork, which can leave a little bit of residue in the neck of the bottle. So use a little serviette or a Q-tip or something to get that out if that should happen. Or use a mesh, just put a mesh on top of your decanter. It could be any type of sort of kitchen mesh or muslin paper or something like that as well. Then you turn on your light or light your candle, and you basically grip your bottle with one hand, decanter with the other, and you want to do this as carefully as possible, but you don't want to stop the process. Once you start decanting, you don't stop until you're done. That's to get a smooth motion. If you're using a candle, don't put the bottle directly on top of the candle. You're looking at the candle as a visual cue so you can see through the bottle. So you don't want to cook your wine, you don't want to put it straight on top. When you're halfway through, you'll be able to see through And that way you'll see when the sediment starts approaching the neck of the bottle. So if you're doing this right, once you're almost done, you'll see a little bit of a haze starting, and then you'll see real sediment. That's when you stop. So there'll be a little bit of wine left in the bottle, and the wine that's in the carafe will be clean and ready to serve, unless you want it to aerate a little bit. Enjoy.